Hey, what is up guys, GuitarRock here, welcome back to another Silver and Blood video. So there's a new updated tier list from Britwin, so we're going to talk about it in this particular video, show you guys a little bit of an idea of which characters are currently in the top meta right now. I'm sure you guys are aware, with Timeless Iona right now in the meta, she's pretty much like the strongest character by far. So you have to absolutely get her. And alongside with that, obviously there's going to be a few other things to be taken into equation, right? So we are all aware that she is the strongest, but she's still a DPS, she's still a damage dealer. And also, I think Britwin's tier list is going to do a very good insight, or give you a very good insight into team building as well, because it's going to be divided into full moon, right? Some characters they are full moon, and of course there are some characters that are going to be a new moon right here, and then of course there's also going to be the half moon, or it's called crescent moon, I guess. I'm so used to calling it half moon. So this is the Britwin tier list, as you can see, the most updated one right now. So it is going to be divided into these three categories. We got a new moon, we got the crescent moon, we got the full moon category right now. Now, do I absolutely agree that right now, Timeless Iona is literally the strongest DPS in the game, destroying everyone else? Yes, absolutely. She's just that broken. In fact, I have made the decision to reset. Right now, the skill reset is still, you can see right here, 5 more hours. I have decided to reset my Van Helsing. Now, I feel like Van Helsing is still going to be strong. There's still going to be a situation that maybe you will use Van Helsing, because Van Helsing is a physical damage dealer. Whereas Timeless Iona is going to be, in this case, she's much more of a magic damage, right? So even though they are both in that same category in terms of full moon, alright, it is still going to be pretty much the same, right? If you guys are not aware, this is similar to Nikkei, burst 1, burst 2, burst 3. You want to have all of these three in a team when you're building a team. But ideally, you're going to put them separately. Now, I think Van Helsing is probably going to be there if the enemy is like weak against physical. But right now, Timeless Iona, she literally plows through everything, which makes things really unfair for everyone else, right? But hey, that's just how it is, right? So let's have a look at everyone else in this particular list as well, get a better idea. If you're looking for a bunch of cool looking characters to help you in the Crescent Moon section, there's two notable characters that I think most players are going to recommend and agreed upon. Acapella is pretty much the go-to for most players, now due to the cost regen that she is able to give you. Now, I feel like Acapella is going to be the go-to, and she is very flexible. She fits into, doesn't matter what team she goes into, because she's just there to provide a lot of things, right? You can see she gives you the Bloodstone recovery rate. That bar at the bottom, she's able to fill that, give you more regeneration in return, enable you to basically cast more spells, do more things, etc., right? Every 1 second, she also gains that node. She's also able to heal a little bit, right? Now, she's not a dedicated healer. I don't think you can use Acapella as a dedicated healer. She's there to do minor, small little heals, sure, but she's not going to be the only healer that you are going to have, right? Ideally, when you're using her, she also gives you a bunch of buffs right here, as you can see, for magic damage, physical damage, crit rate up. All of those things are going to be quite important as well, so take note of those things. She is pretty much the go-to for anyone that don't have her yet. If you're looking for a half moon, or is it called crescent moon? Crescent moon. If you're looking for a crescent moon character, definitely it's going to be her. Now, what about Dalo? Dalo is also very strong. She has CC. She is also able to stun the enemy, which I'm a big fan of, right? She can also do decent damage, right? So now, if you're looking for somebody that can amplify and helps you a little bit in your, right now, specifically help you in your team, in a magic team, right? So alongside with your Timeless Iona, you can probably put a Dalo in there. But in most cases, you probably don't really need both of them in the same team. It does depend on what you're trying to do. Her circle is a little bit small, so I think her only downside is she's not that good on auto. If you play a lot on auto, Dalo might be a little bit finicky. The AI doesn't know how to aim and fit all the enemies in the circle, so that is going to be the only downside that I can think for her, right? If you are playing on auto, that is, right? If you manual her, I think you try to take your time to aim and stuff, I think that's going to be where she shines. Alright, so I would recommend, these two definitely are going to be, ideally in most cases, your Crescent Moon characters. If you have Iona, put Acapella in there, and then now you have a few other right here. Now, I feel like Fleeting Bella is very strong right now. but I kind of feel bad for any new players that miss out on her banner because she was a limited character, right? So she was limited during the summer character, and she's one of the best support for Timeless Iona. If you don't have her, you are, I'm not saying that you're screwed or anything, right? But you still get Timeless Iona and she's still really strong. But her best support, in my opinion, is going to be Fleeting Bella. I think you're still going to do fine. It's just that you won't have the best in that particular case, right? So for those of you who are not aware, Timeless Iona is going to give you the attack speed that you need in most cases. Where is she? So right here, right? She does a lot of things, but ideally the major thing that she provides is the damage dealt increased by 45% and attack speed increased by 50%. She basically possesses that character and give them that particular buff, which is kind of insane, right? That possess ally for 20 seconds. She herself will be able to heal a little bit, right? Do this and that, but ideally she is just like a single target buffer that's very, very strong. Very, very good, very, very useful in that particular case. Now, as for the regular Bella, you get this for free, right? So everybody are aware of that by now. If you guys are not aware already, you should have that quest right here in the top left, somewhere in the first supper. I think it's yeah, this one, right? You can see I've already completed mine, but you claim at least 1 copy of Bella for free. Now, if you want to get more copies, sure, it's going to be quite recommended. She's probably one of the best defender in the game, or one of the best tank, right? If not the best tank, right? Depending on who you have. But for a lot of players, she is going to be quite good. The only downside is the cost is a little bit higher, right? It's 5 costs, depending on what you're trying to do. That can be a little bit expensive, but she can summon 2 puppets to basically tank for you. And if you use her 5 costs, she summons this creature called Joyce. Alright, again, this character can also tank for you, and only one of them can be present, so you can also take advantage of that, right? So that's also going to be one upside of that particular Bella. Transcendent Amy, this is personally somebody that I do not have. Now, apparently I've heard a lot of good things about her. Now, she is a Transcendent character, but again, right now, all the other Transcendent characters are pretty much outclassed or out-eclipsed by Timeless Iona, right? It's just, she's probably going to help you in the defender category right there, as you can see, right? Or is that, or in the heavy category right here, right? So she's going to be quite interesting in that particular case. But Starry Eye Iona is going to be another healer and shielder. She can do quite a lot of things to be able to help you in a lot of situations. I would say she's the go-to if you are looking for a healer. She can also reposition your characters. She gives you shield, and she basically opens up a lot of new meta, new strategy, because you're able to move your characters around the map. Before the Timeless Iona, I used to use her alongside with I remember I used to use her alongside with Dalo, right? Because what I do is I try to pull myself towards the enemy, and then when the enemy chase after me, so now they are all in a circular area, and then you can use Dalo afterwards. So very, very good in that particular case. So if you are trying to like do a very unique strategy to move your characters around, because sometimes you might need to do that, alright, to avoid, like I think in the earlier chapter there's those tentacles that hit against you as well. So she's very useful in those situations. So highly recommend to get her as the healer. Now let's talk about all of these other characters that I believe are tier 0.5. Okay, so I am so glad. So there are going to be a little bit of differentiation for the tier list right now. There's going to be 3 categories from Britwen. So we got story 15% deficit, we got bossing right here. So let's have a look at story 50% deficit. That means that we have a higher deficit for the story. So you can see Lorelei is going to be there. The ability to sleep can sometimes be useful, I get it. So we got Van Helsing right here, getting outclassed by Timeless Iona pretty much. That's just how it is. And then we got Seth, another healer that competes with Timeless, Starry Eye Iona. So if you don't have Starry Eye Iona, Seth is going to be another go-to healer for the SSR, but she is going to be a Transcendent, right? So if you're looking for that, she can also cleanse as well. So that's going to be quite useful in a lot of situations. So going on into the bottom, we got Jestel, one of the best tank in the game, right? So if you don't have Lorelei, I think everybody has Lorelei, right? But eventually you're going to get her. Jestel is probably going to be the one that you can use for a while. She does have Taunt, which can be very useful in sometimes cancelling the enemy as well. I've seen her do a lot of amazing things in PvP, right? So not just in regular battles. And especially if you are manualing her, I can see her potential going up. Frederick is, I do agree, he is going to be very strong as well in the story. Alright, so I'm a big fan of him. I did use him for a little bit in the beginning of the game, but I switch away to using the other tank, in that case my Bella. He's a 3-cost character, which I am a big fan of, and this gives you shield as well, which can help you with the tankiness. Alright, if you're looking for that specifically, for sure. Going down right here, you can see in tier 1 for DPS characters, or for the full moon rather, right? Most of the full moon are DPS characters. We got T-Bout, Transcendent Noah, Hearty Transcendent, Lamia, and of course Limin right there. So these are going to be right there in that particular category. And then going on into the bottom, Adina and Theophan, very good tank sustain character. And then we got Amy, is also going to be one of the few characters. This is the regular Amy, not the Transcendent Amy. She's also one of the few characters that can reposition your characters besides Terry Iona. So I think she's good for bosses if you're trying to like perform certain strategies, etc. Jilrain is right here. Augustine, Joanne. I feel like Jilrain deserves to be right here. I feel like I fought quite a number of Jilrains in PvP. He is actually really strong, really tanky, plus one of the few Crescent Moon characters that I think needs to be up there. We got the Incendiary Agares right here, Cisia and Cyrene. She's a free character that you can obtain from the club hunt or whatever thing, the guild thing, right? I'm sure you guys are aware by now. Everybody should have gotten her already. Alright. And then we got the regular Iona, Yggdrasil. All of these are going to be at the lower tier. Regular Agares. Reza is here as well, alongside with Tris. Selena, this is going to be one of the few. She's good in bossing apparently, but not that good in like regular story right here, right? And Pavana, which I recently did obtain from the PvP shop. It's been a while, so she's going to be one of the few ones. And at the bottom, we got Clive, we got Mass. I do think that they need to give the bald woman some sort of justice, right? Because like, how can you put a bald woman in the game, but you make her like useless, right? We gotta. She needs the buff. All right, maybe eventually the bald woman get a transcendent or something, right? Transcendent, timeless buff, timeless mask. Then maybe that's going to be the time. And you can see the Garlic Knight and the rest of these. Kane. I thought Kane was like decent, but I don't know. This is a super low tier right there. But ideally this is going to be the tier list for the time being. With Timeless Iona coming in, you can see. I think this is going to shake up the DPS category as a whole, right? Now, I think in the future, once more characters come into the New Moon and Crescent Moon category, you know, I feel like this is going to change it up a little bit more. Now, in terms of bossing, most of these are pretty much in line. Okay, I can see Darcia's being moved up right there, alongside with Bella being moved down for bossing. Very interesting right there. And it seems like not much has changed, right? If you're looking for that in particular. There are some characters that move up and down. Frederick goes all the way to the bottom. I have no idea why. I thought for bossing he would still be useful for the shield, but this is going to be for specifically for bossing versus story. Alright, that's going to be the one. I wish that in the future, if they want to, a PvP tier list would be nice as well, to give a better gauge of where all of these characters stand. Alright, so with that being said, that is going to be it for this particular video. Let me know what you guys think of this Pre-1 tier list. I'm a big fan of, I think this tier list, I think is pretty good. I would say like out of all of these, the only one that I probably would disagree on is maybe Jilrain can move here. And I think that's pretty much it, I would say, right? Most of these, I haven't tested Pavana enough, so I'm not too sure of how strong she is. But I would say the rest of these I can pretty much agree upon. Alright, so as per always, subscribe if you guys haven't already. Give this video a like. I will leave the link to the tier list in the description below. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe. Have a nice day. Goodbye.